This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on?
What's going on? How are we feeling tonight?
We'll get to that a little bit later. But did you see the size of the biceps on the dude behind home plate?
Yes.
He's a bodybuilder.
Massive
They were the
human being.
biggest arms I've ever seen on a human being. And he was, imagine sitting behind that guy and that guy was standing up, flexing the whole game. Like, do you have the stones to say, excuse me, please sit down?
No, the quick answer is no. Obviously
Who was
not.
that dude?
I don't know.
They were, the arms were insane. I could not stop looking at him.
His head doesn't match his body. Like, his body's too big for his head. Like, I've seen that guy. He's like it on Instagram, and he's like a bodybuilder and stuff like that. Very well known, and he's become more famous because
It
he's
had
being
to be some kind of promo or something. Like, it's just
No, he's like a fan. He's a fan who sits back there stuffed into a Blue Jays jersey, and he's a monster. An
he's a
monster.
Big dude. It's like that Marlins man. You know Marlins man, the guy who goes to all these big sporting events and wears the Florida Marlins gear so everyone can see him.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what this guy's doing. It's a pretty good way of advertising, I guess, right? Like, find a way to get right behind home plate,
I guess,
courtside, right behind a bench at a hockey game, and people are going to notice you. But I don't have any information on that guy. I don't know, and I'm not going to seek it out, and I'm certainly not going to say what Noodles just said. I'm not going to tell this guy his head doesn't fit his body face to face.
Well, obviously, he'd rip mine off and bowl it down the street for fun. But you tell me, I see him on the camera all the time. I'm like, that guy's body doesn't match. He's just oversized. He's a monster, an absolute monster.
Well, I'll look into it. I wonder if he was chirping Seattle players last night, like the Happy Gilmore scene, or hey, shooter, Happy Gilmore, I'll see you in the parking lot. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. hit a home run no more than an hour ago. Let's see what you got. Maybe he was doing that last night.
Vladdy?
Well, Vladdy made a fashion choice this morning or this afternoon walking to the park. He was just spotted walking into the Rogers Center wearing an Austin Matthews Maple Leaf jersey. Now, it's vintage because it had an A on it. Can we get Vladdy a captain jersey? Can we get Vladdy an updated Leaf jersey?
An updated jersey for Vladdy.
Let's get an updated Leaf jersey. I think I know where he's going with this. His postgame was phenomenal last night, saying he's born for this and he wants to do it for the city. And I think that's what he's doing. He's playing off Seattle, right? Seattle, the Kraken was wearing the Mariners uniforms, and I think the Mariners were trying to pump up the Kraken in the past, and we've seen that. And I think that's what he's doing, saying, I'm here representing Toronto, and I'm going to bring Austin Matthews into the fight here. Maybe he should have been wearing a Stolarz jersey, though. That would have been interesting if he went Stolarz instead of Austin Matthews, but immediately people online are like, I don't know if I need a Matthews Game 7 mojo in the park tonight.
Exactly.
Some guy just wrote, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that.
Just like, you know what would have been worse, though? When you sent that, Hayes, you know what would have been worse? If the bandwagoner, what's his name, Drake, was standing there with him. Because that guy's been invisible, has he not? Have you seen him at any of the games?
I have not seen him. I mean, again, I've been at the game, so I don't know if he's been picked up by cameras or something like that. I wouldn't put it past him if he's in town being there tonight. I would definitely expect him to be there tonight.
Doesn't that guy hand out the kiss of death for everybody?
He has historically. Now, he was there in 2019 when the Raptors said that the kiss of death doesn't apply to us, right? And I think that's what Vladdy has the potential to do here. You know, we're having fun with the Matthews stuff.
Obviously.
But let's be clear here. The Leafs do not have a great mojo, right? The last time there was a Game 7 in this city, we know what happened.
They don't win it. They don't win it.
Not only did they not win it, they got crushed. They got embarrassed, and it was really ugly. And now you got the Jays with an opportunity to do something amazing tonight. And maybe Vladdy and I think this is what's been so great about what Vladdy Jr. has done over the last few weeks, is this market has been craving that superstar who exceeds expectation, who is the best player, who is clutch, who is doing it all, is willing to put himself on the line and say, I'm built for this, I was born for this, come along for the ride, we're winning. Like almost a Messier-type guarantee. It wasn't quite that, but it wasn't far off from Vladdy last night. And on top of it, loves it here and wants to be here. That's what makes this is what separates it even from Kawhi. Now, they're not there yet. They're still Game 7 of the championship series. You got to win tonight, then get to the World Series, try to win that, and then we can wait till the dust settles and discuss what this means historically. But the thing about Kawhi was it was so foreign to people that this guy is actually going to do it. Like, he's actually going to say, we're not losing. Like, I'm going to hit the shot in Game 7 against Philly. We're going to go to Milwaukee, and I'm going to tell my teammates, we're winning both these games. We're not just going for a split. We're winning, and we're not going to lose.
I don't think Kawhi ever spoke, Hayes.
That's the thing. He never spoke, and furthermore, the second he could leave, he left. The second he could leave, he left. This guy's not going anywhere. Vladdy loves being a Toronto Blue Jay.
Talk
and
about
that
performance.
Fits.
The performance and the PR put together is so brilliant. Like, he can't wait to say, we do this for the fans. I did this for the – like, he has just – I don't know. I don't know if a city can love a guy any more than what Toronto does with Vladdy right now. It's just incredible how – yeah, he's delivered.
That's what it is,
and he keeps saying the right things, and he just has people in the palm of his hands. It's the perfect play for a guy that's gone legend right now.
But isn't that what you expect out of star players? Because we had to talk about him on our show, going, this guy got 23, Barger's at 21 type of thing, and $500 million, and there were games this year you're like, okay, but because the Jays were so good this year, it kind of fell into the background. And Hayes, you said it at the starting of the playoffs. You're like, doesn't matter what he does in the regular season if he can go legend in the playoffs, because nobody's talking about 23 home runs this year, or an average season, we'll call it, or below average compared to the standard. What we're talking about is him being brilliant in the playoff. Brilliant, not just good, being brilliant and not afraid of the moment, not shrinking on the big stage. It's the exact opposite. He's enjoying it. He's embraced it. And listen, they're in a Game 7 because of him, because of other players stepping up. You Savage, that's his six times this guy's been on the mound in the majors, and he's, I don't think he had a perfect game, but I thought he grinds, man.
He was
battles.
resilient. Yeah, he's a personification of the team, really. Like, they're such a likable team because they battle and they grind and they don't quit. And he found himself in 3 straight jams, and he got out of all of them. Now, with help from his teammates, and Vladdy was forefront of that, and, to turn double plays, there's something magical about a play like that. I was trying to compile a list that I might try to flush out for later in the week. The obvious things that get crowds going. If you hit a home run, you score a goal, right? A big 3-pointer or something like that, a touchdown. But then there's that next layer that creates this kind of hum in a stadium. And if it is executed properly, the pop is almost as large, if not larger in some ways. And I would say, a big hit, a big fight, I'd say a big block, and then I would say, honestly, turning a double play. There's something about it where every fan gets up and you're like, turn it, turn it, turn it. And when they execute it, it's incredible. And when they did that in the third with Raleigh at the plate, I'm like, that's probably the play of the game. Then they did it again the next inning, and then the next inning. And he just kept getting out of jam after jam after jam. And that takes a lot of fortitude, man. It takes a lot of confidence to be able to execute the pitch and basically induce double play after double play after double play. It was an incredible atmosphere down there, man. It was such a cool night. Like Sunday night, it was rainy. It felt like what you would think Seattle would feel like if the game was in Seattle. Foggy and rainy and kind of a miserable vibe in terms of the actual environment and the weather patterns. And then you get into the building and the roof is closed, yet everyone's ready to pop. Bautista's out there throwing the first pitch. The place is going nuts. It was great. It was just it was an incredible night. And what they've done is afforded themselves an opportunity to elevate it to a completely different level tonight.
Yeah.
What was the vibe when old Schneider went out there? What do you think would have happened if old Little had a wheel down?
He was getting
Little?
booed. He was getting booed. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I just wondered, like, if he just pointed to the dugout and old Little came wheeling out, like, there would have been somebody would have ran on the field, man, and tackled that guy.
So it's actually a great conversation, but a question for both of you. Because I'm sitting there watching the game last night. I went to Real Sports with a couple buddies, and atmosphere was great and all of that. And I kept looking at, John Schneider's got different shades of the face, right, as it goes along, the pressure, all of that. But I'm thinking, like, people hate this guy's guts right now. And I'm like, they win last night. Are they loving him again? Like, is he back out of, like, is it all gone? Is that all forgotten? Or is it not?
I think tonight will be the determining factor on that.
Oh, yeah. There are some people that continue to write on Twitter, they lose this series, they have to get rid of him. Like, they're saying they have to get rid of him for that little stunt.
Mm-hmm. And
the excuse coming into it saying we think we wanted to show him some different guys or whatever the excuse was.
Which, to their credit, they rectified, but what they also did was prove how wrong the decision was.
Well, no kidding.
It was obviously a horrible decision to go to Brendan Little in that spot. It blew up in their face, but they could have been very stubborn. They were never going to Brendan Little last night because, to your point, if he came out, that people would have been honestly storming the field, I think.
Yeah. Or the exits.
I think it would have been.
That's awful to say.
It's awful to say, but it may have been the first time in baseball history a relief pitcher would have come in with security detail. Like literally bouncers walking him to the mound because people are losing their mind. And Schneider, the same thing. So they were never going to go to Little, but they could have gone to Fluharty. They could have gone to Lauer. They could have gone a different direction. They chose not to. They went to their stud, who's had a very up-and-down season, but they went to Hoffman and said, here's the ball, wild thing, go out and punch out guys. And that's what he did. He punched out 4 guys, and he got 6 straight outs. And they lived to see another day. And ultimately, this goes without saying. It's very obvious. But if you win, the 3 losses become irrelevant, completely irrelevant. All you're going to remember is the 4 wins. If you lose, the 3 wins become irrelevant. All you're going to remember is the 4 losses.
Correct.
And that's what's going to happen tonight. That's the crossroads the Blue Jays have. They win tonight. No one cares about Brendan Little. It becomes a footnote or something you laugh about. Schneider might laugh about it in the future. You don't care about them going down 0-2 to start the series. Doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. If they lose tonight, it will be about how did you do that in Game 5? Why weren't you ready to play in Game 1?
Dude,
that's
that'll be the
nature
story
of things.
for 30 years, man. I told you about when I played junior and we lost in the OHL finals, and I know for a fact my teammates were like, Bertuzzi and O'Neill didn't play well in the finals. We lost. That's what they take away from it. Mm-hmm. That's what everybody will be saying about that. Yeah, we had a chance to go to the World Series, but Game 5, our manager just tanked it.
I'll admit, getting up and walking out of Real Sports last night, I heard somebody go, they should have closed out the series with that win if they wouldn't have. Like, I turned and looked, and it was like, well, if they wouldn't have done that nonsense last game, we'd have been taken care of in 6. I was like, oh, my God. Like, that's how.
It was deeply rooted, just bitterness and frustration. Wow. And they had the game. They had, like, the term high leverage. I said it on SportsCenter last night. It's a word that gets thrown around in baseball more than any other term. And if you were looking for the definition of high leverage, some guy just landed from Mars and said, I keep hearing high leverage. What does it mean? 8th inning, Game 5, ALCS. Cal Raleigh coming up. You're up 2-1. That is it. Like, cut that, post it online. That's high leverage. Whenever you hear the term, just close your eyes and go, okay, that's what they mean by that. And they go with Brendan Little. Last night was not the equivalent, but it was a do or die last night. They weren't technically up against the wall in Game 5. They were last night. They had to win. They found a way to do it. Barger was great. Ernie Clement was unbelievable. A few more hits last night.
Dude, that guy is a legend and a stud. I think I heard they were talking about him coming to Toronto or signing in Toronto, trading in Toronto, and he was looking for playing time, not even with the Jays. He was looking for playing time in Buffalo.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
Right.
And I don't understand how – and I think from Oakland, dude. That guy came from Oakland.
It's an amazing – he was originally a draft pick of Cleveland. I believe Ross Atkins, I think, was the one that originally spotted him and picked him. But this is where we're going to get into the comparing and contrasting of this team and the 15 and 16 team. And I said before the series started, I thought they had to get to the World Series to surpass the way those teams in 15 in particular are revered because of it was such a long gap between playoff appearances. But those teams didn't make it to a Game 7. This team did. And as likable as that 15 team was, this team is such a likable team because of a guy like Ernie Clement and Nathan Lucas and Addison Barger.
They're all likable, Hayes, but I think you're just saying that because it's recency bias. Like everyone loved those guys back in 15 and 16 with Donaldson and Tulowitzki. Yeah,
they did. I'm not saying they weren't likable too. I'm just saying this feels like more of an underdog story than what 15 represented, and they've technically gotten further than those teams in 15
especially
and 16.
With Bo out.
Especially with Bichette out, exactly.
In 15-16. Was the expectations high at the start of the season? That's where I'm at with this team. The expectation. I remember having this conversation. When was it? In May or June? I was like, "Do you think they can get to 85 wins?" And you guys,
I didn't think they would.
No,
I'm not going to pretend like I thought they were getting over 85 wins.
I, including myself, going, "Geez, it doesn't look good." All of that type of stuff. We come back in September, and they've been leading the league, for months.
Yep.
Like. Flat out months type of thing. So that's where is it different from 15-16? Were the expectations going into the season, were they were a better team on paper, correct?
Yes, there were higher expectations for sure. They acquired Donaldson. The thought was, okay, Anthopoulos has got to get it done because Beeston's out. And, there were a number of different things that factored into that. At the trade deadline, they were 50 and 51, though. And they went on a heater down the stretch to get in. And then once they got to the playoffs, it felt like, okay, they're actually going to do this. Where this Blue Jay team, I'm not sure it was the same level of expectation. But the fact is they've just reached a higher marker. And again, we'll wait to see how it plays out tonight. And the amazing thing is if you win tonight, you got the L.A. Dodgers flying in. The Dodgers are waiting for you. And I think the comparison between this team and the 19 Raptor team just continues to grow with Vladdy playing the role of Kawhi. And remember who was waiting for them in the NBA Finals? The Golden State Warriors. The big, bad Golden State Dynasty Warriors who were waiting for them. And it was one more thing where the world was like, well, they can't beat these guys. Good for them. They beat Milwaukee. Oh, that was cool. They beat Philly. There's no way they're beating Steph. No way they're beating KD and Draymond and all them. We'll see. They got to get through tonight, but we'll see. That's why you play the games.
Would you have to wait for, injuries? Freddie Freeman and Shohei to get hurt then? Because that was Durant and
Klay Thompson. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Exactly. Like that's
possibly Noodles. Possibly. Those guys did get banged up. But the point is, it was still a dynasty that was waiting for you, and they found a way to win the games. And, Shohei, if he...
Dude, 3 bombs and 10 Ks in a game.
Is that one of the greatest sports performances of any sport, you name it, anything?
I don't know what could be better. I really don't.
I'm not sure how you could find anything that could possibly compare to it in a closeout game in the championship series.
Well, he hadn't had a great series, too, right?
He has not. He had 2 home runs the first wild card game against, who were they playing? San Diego, I think. And Padres, and since then he has really done nothing. And then all of a sudden, 3 home runs, and they were nuclear home runs too, man. Like he mashed those home runs, and then he was a Cy Young winner on the mound. It was incredible.
It was. That is probably one of the greatest sports performances of all time. I can't. What do you compare?
There's no hyperbole to that.
No, it's like a hockey player scoring 3 goals in the first half of a game and then putting the pads on after the first period. I don't know.
There's no comparison.
No, there's not.
There's no comparison.
Sittler's 10. Something crazy like that. But throw that in a playoff game.
That's it. Game 4 of a championship series, and again the pitching combined. There's no comparison. There's nothing. We could sit here for an hour. I don't think you could come up with anything that would match it. It was just remarkable. And that guy's waiting for you. The Dodgers are waiting for you. But so are the Mariners tonight. The Mariners will be ready. George Kirby on the mound for the Mariners. Game 3. The Jays got to him. They hit 3 home runs off him. Same lineup for the Jays tonight. You got Shane Bieber on the mound, Game 7. Everyone else likely will be available. It's going to be a great night. So we'll tee that up throughout the afternoon. Luke is coming up. Luke Willson just after 5. We'll tee up 2 Monday nighters tonight. Look back on what was a crazy Sunday in the NFL. And crazy Saturday night in Toronto, man. We will come back and discuss the whole Anthony Stolarz commentary, what happened on Saturday, how the team and the coaches and the players have responded to it today. They had an off day yesterday, spoke with the media today. What does it mean moving forward for the Leafs? They're in action with Sheldon Keefe and the Devils in town tomorrow night. So what happened on Saturday? What do we make of it? We'll get into it next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Overdrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Luke Willson in studio in just over half an hour. Crazy scenes in Toronto. You got Jays Mariners Game 7 tonight. Vladdy walking in with a Austin Matthews Maple Leaf jersey tonight. Trying to bring the city together, right? Trying to bring the city together. Maybe this breaks a Maple Leaf curse. Vladdy goes out there and dominates tonight, and Jays win and go off to the World Series. Maybe that's a sign of what's to come.
Maybe he presents the jersey to Austin Matthews and says, "This is how we do business now. Good luck, my son." And he just gives him the jersey.
Would be great. But what if it doesn't go so well and then Austin gets dragged into this for no reason, for literally sitting there at the game supporting a local Toronto team? Because I would be shocked if a lot of the Leafs weren't at the game tonight. You know, those guys are fans. I believe John Tavares is a huge Blue Jays fan, is he not?
I'm pretty sure he is, and I would think if they have access, they'll be there. I think you're right. And I would not put it past someone in a scrum tomorrow if things go wrong to ask Austin, your thoughts on Vladdy not playing well after wearing your jersey last night, as if he has anything to do with anything.
That might make him not talk to the media the rest of the year.
You're right. All right, so Anthony Stolarz. First of all, the Leafs lose in overtime on Saturday. Credit to Seattle. They haven't lost yet this year, right? 3-0-2.
They play hard.
They do. Yeah, Lane Lambert, who was a Leaf assistant, he's got that team cooking pretty well. And, the Leafs are 3-2-1. 3-2-1. The record isn't bad. Their start hasn't been great. I think most people would concede that, the way that they've been playing. And let's play a couple of Stolarz clips before I'll give you guys the floor. You can speak to it and kind of take it wherever you want to take it. But let's begin with Stolarz on, kind of getting run and his reaction to obviously what's happened to him the last couple of times he's played, including back against Florida. Obviously, we know that in the second round, and he got hit by Marchman pretty hard on Saturday. Here's Stolarz on Saturday night.
I mean, it's just playing hard. I mean, maybe we can take a page out of their book and start getting to the net. I mean, for us, it's, we like to go a little high and shoot, but, it's for their goalie, it's like playing catch in the yard. I mean, I'm not happy. It's, guys are going to run me, and, I'm going to try to stand up for myself. And, I heard the ref say we got a power play, and there's really not much I can do to them on the ground. But, kudos to the guys who were there and got down with them. But, like I said, I think we got to start going to the cage a little harder, make it harder for their goalies. It's not fun. I don't like having 225-pound guys landing on me. So, hopefully learn a lesson here.
Oof. What do you make of that?
Well, this stems back from him getting hurt in the playoffs last year, and he's clearly pissed off. And, Hayes, you talked about it in the preseason, first game of the season. Teams were bumping into him. He was going down, and they were bumping into him, and he's pissed off. But what I don't understand is doing this with the media and calling out your teammates in front of the media. He knows what team he's on. He's on the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're not known for the rough stuff. They're not known for punching people in the head. The stuff that happened in preseason with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers, that's not how the Toronto Maple Leafs conduct themselves. So if you want to lose your mind at your teammates with the doors closed before everybody comes in, have at it. But I don't know what he's trying to do here. And I love how fired up he is. I love that he's pissed off. But going about it like this, it's like it makes yourself look like you're the only one that cares and everybody else is going about their business the wrong way. And maybe that's the case. I don't know. But I played with Sean Burke, and he would send somebody, a trainer, to go back and get the VHS tape and put it in and make everybody sit down in their gear before the media coaches anybody, and he would say, this is bleeping unacceptable, whatever, and everybody would have to watch it. And then we would leave and it would all be done with. But when you're calling everybody out like this, I don't know, you really put the spotlight on yourself, especially in this market. And Now every time he's going to let in a bad one, somebody's going to want to go up to is William Nylander allowed to go up to the media and say, well, it's tough to win games when your goalie lets in a fluff ball like that. So that's he just kind of subjected himself to making yourself look like, when you make yourself look like you're the only one that cares, it's a difficult thing for everybody else to take. Because everyone's like, what are you, a hero? Like maybe we could be tougher, play tougher, but that's just not who we are.
Yeah, I agree. Now, first and foremost, I respect the hell out of him being a competitor and not wanting to get run.
Me too. Nobody would like that.
That should be without saying, but we have to talk about it. Brandon Carlo pushes, I think it was Schwartz, on top of him. Your D shouldn't be pushing guys on top of you. The other one, the guy went hard to the net and ran him through the net. That sucks as a goaltender. I always try and think of the guys that, like, I played with some pretty great legends. Roberto Luongo, Mika Kiprasov, Grant Fear. Those guys were fiery guys in their own way, but they weren't outspoken to the media. So, this is a different and unique situation. Stolarz is the guy right now. Joseph Wall is, going through what he's going through, so he's the guy. So it's his job. But I also I feel like my question would be, was this addressed behind closed doors first? Because I always hated the messaging through the media and all of that. I respect the passion, but I agree, because all he did is shine a light on himself where if he's no good, let's say he's no good tomorrow night. Like that, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, you called out your teammates, you better back that up type of thing. So I respect it, but I also found, he has to understand what market he lives in, what market he plays in, because we're going to be talking about this for a while, because that's something that says to me he's calling out not only his players, but maybe some leadership, maybe what's going on in, or not going on in that room. I took more from it than the actual comments.
Yeah, so for starters, I like that someone finally said something.
I don't mind that.
I'm so sick and tired of the market. These guys haven't said anything in 10 years.
Yep.
Finally, someone says something, like show some emotion, regardless of the content, regardless of what he said. Be human once.
Yep.
I love that. I actually love that he was human. He was pissed off. They lost. Yeah. He got barreled. He didn't like it, and he was pissed. You're allowed to be. For 10 years, these guys have composed themselves, come out, put a straight face on and said, well, we got to learn from this, and we'll actually, finally, someone showed some emotion. Whether you like, again, what he said or not, I like that he was free enough to say, I'm talking here, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. So I do appreciate that. It's also a very unique situation for Stolarz. He has been a backup his whole career. This is the first time in his career he's got security, and he is a true number one. There is no competition.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Hayes. Like, William Nylander has been a 40-goal scorer for 3 years, and him and Austin Matthews time and time again put up points to allow their team to have victories. And William Nylander obviously lost his guy that went to the net, a guy that hasn't scored in 100-and-something games. And he
134. 134 games. I know the kid. It's unbelievable. Josh McHura is the same.
Well, if I was William Nylander, it brings back thoughts where I would be like, you know what, I did kind of lose my guy there. I just went to the net. But that guy that scored the goal hasn't scored in 134 games. So maybe come out a little bit more, do something, and you stop the puck. Like, it would just piss me off.
Well, let's play the clip here, because here's what Stolarz said about the overtime winner.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the guys have been here for a while, Overtime, you can't let someone beat you up the ice there and, gets a clear-cut breakaway. I mean, minute left, you want to be on the ice in that situation, you got to work hard. Got to work back, and it cost us a point there.
Ooh, so
that's the stinging one. See, the other
I don't like that one. I really think that's a cheap shot.
It is, because you know what? What I think what we were doing is I was basing my comments on kind of both of them. The first one you can 100% respect, because it's like, I don't like getting run into. I don't like a 225-pound. This one is like a pointed comment. Like he's singling out plays and players.
And okay, there's a couple things. One thing I will say quickly on the previous clip. Right. I think what's more important, yes, he doesn't like getting run. No goalie, since you're 8 years old, you learn that goalies hate that and you're supposed to protect them. He takes, I think the coach and the manager might have been stung more than anyone with those comments, because he takes a shot on how they play, low to high, no one's in front of the net. He literally said the other goalie's like playing catch in the yard. That's a shot at Craig Berube and how he coaches. and how
tough,
they
too.
set up. That's a shot
I
at
don't
him.
think Craig Berube wants to coach like that. It's how those guys play.
Okay,
they're not going to get into the inside, and they're not going to run people over. They're highly talented and skilled players that do what they do, and they've done it for a long time. Why anybody thinks it's going to change, we've talked about it for 10 years ourselves, guys. They can bring in different parts on the outside, but those top guys that get it done for them, they go about their business in a certain way, and it hasn't changed. And for anybody to think it's going to, they're nuts.
Well,
sorry.
That's fine, and I hear you. Then that's where the manager comes into play, right? He made his big. Tree Living said DNA change. Nothing's changed. There's no DNA change, right? There's nothing's changed. And what you're saying, is it can't if the main guys are still here and they operate the way they operate 10, 12, 13 years into the league, which I think is factual. I'm not disagreeing with you, but Tree Living brought in Berube, right? He brought in Berube, and Berube, if he wants them to play a different way, you got to find a way to make it happen. And if you can't, or if you think they should play a different way, then what are you ever expecting to change around here? And that's what I find most interesting about these comments is Stolarz is basically saying it's easy for the other team, it's easy for the other goalie. That's an indictment on the DNA of the whole organization and what they're trying to build and what they're trying to move towards. And, as for the overtime shot, I don't like because what happened was, first, it's a scrimmage out there. It's 3-on-3.
Broken play.
They sold out to try to win it. Matthews and Willie sold out on a 2-on-1. And I can't remember who it was that made a brilliant play on Willie to stop him at the far post. It didn't go in. It's the end of the shift, end of the game, and he got burned. He got burned up ice. There's no denying that. But Stolarz could have stopped the puck too. But it's also about who is on the ice because everyone keeps pointing to Willie. Austin's on that ice too. And Austin's kind of floating around in the neutral zone with his guys.
That's a direct comment at Willie, though.
You
He's
think
the guy that
only
let his
Nylander?
man go. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He's the guy that let his man go. And that's what I don't understand. When you're a team that's like, we've said it about these guys for a long time. They are the guys that get it done to get you into the playoffs. Obviously, what they do in the playoffs, it hasn't worked, and they haven't had success. But these are the guys that drive the bus. 100 points, 40 goals, 45 goals, 60 goals, 69 goals. And then you lose your guy. Where 2 days earlier, they made one of the best plays of the year to win the hockey game for your team. And everybody's hugging him saying, oh, man, you're the best. You're the best. That was awesome. And then 2 days later, it's like, oh, if you're going to be out on the ice at that particular time, you got to watch what you're doing and watch your man. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's why it's a silly comment.
And, guys, it's not just the goaltender and him getting run over. Any other organization where they have their prized young guy out there, where first somebody bowls him into the post against Nashville and runs them over and steamrolls them, would have caused an absolute brawl. And then against, I think it was Seattle, somebody cross-checked him right in the face in front of the net. And it was just the same, hey, don't do that to our...
Vince Dunn. That's a Dunn got a, it was Dunn that did that.
But that's the point.
Right,
like it's
just like if any other organization, like if that was Florida, imagine a young prize rookie, a first-round draft pick, just got cross-checked in front of, like right in the face in front of the net. What the Florida, they would make your life miserable.
Well, and that's why I think the source of this commentary is fitting because of where he came from. Like Stolarz came from Florida. And Florida has set the bar in the league. And this is, again, where I think the coaching staff comes into play. We had Aaron Ekblad on a few weeks ago, month and a half ago. We talked about those rules, right? He wouldn't tell us what they were.
Non-negotiable.
Paul Maurice has rules. I guarantee you, one of them is if our goalie gets barreled, you're all in, and we'll kill the penalty. I guarantee you it's one of them. It's never listen for the ref to say we got a power play, so hands up, let's try to score on the power play. I'd be shocked if that's not on that board. If our guy gets barreled, all in, and make sure, because it's not just about Seattle on Saturday thinking we can't do that. It's Jersey on Tuesday and then Buffalo on Friday. Every team in the league needs to realize we can't take liberties. It's always about message sending, not for the moment, but for the future. And that I'm with you, like the Cowan stuff. And again, what is frustrating, I think, for Stolarz and for Leaf fans on Saturday is maybe Austin and Willie are different, right? They're superstars. They're different. They're wired differently. They're not going to drop the gloves. They're not going to run in. But Brandon Carlo can't be wired that way. Right. Jake McCabe can't be wired that way. Like, okay, Matthews isn't going to come flying in and throwing elbows and sticks and whatever. I'm not sure Barkov does that. I don't think Reinhart does it. I'll give you a couple of examples, but I guarantee you Mikkola does.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that Ekblad does. So it's, yes, you can have a couple of exceptions that are still frustrating, but you can reason with them when it's Matthews, when it's Nylander. You can't with the rest of the group. Yeah. And what happens is every year something like this takes place, and then they have to come out and tell the world, no, we're a team, we're close-knit, and we're tough. And what I guarantee will happen tomorrow night, someone's going to fight. There'll be a fight tomorrow night. Someone in Jersey's probably like, okay, something's coming.
Or an unnecessary 5-minute major that's going to cost them the hockey game because somebody wants to act tough.
Well,
right. And someone's going to do something tomorrow to prove we learned our lesson.
Yeah. And Jamie, you talked about the market. Like, the reason this is unnecessary, like, you can come out and say, I'm tired of getting run over. The league's got to start protecting the goaltenders better. And there's a different way to go about it. I know, Hayes, that you appreciated him coming out because there was some emotion.
Yes.
And these guys have been robots for a long time. But the problem with this is, like, they're in third place with 7 points in the Atlantic Division. Like, you hear nothing coming out of Tampa Bay right now. Like, there's no – and they're terrible right now. They're not good. Yeah. Florida just lost 3 in a row. And like, there's teams that are really, like, there's some pissed-off people. We talked about it in our group chat. Like, there's some pissed-off people. The coach in San Jose wants to give up his children for a win. And now we're talking about this mess in Toronto, and it's actually not that bad. That's why in this market you kind of got to know what you're doing media-wise, and it's not really necessary.
Well, I felt, and Brian, you're right. Like we're in the business of talking about this, so it's great for us. But my point being is this a story that goes away today or tomorrow, or does this linger because now all of a sudden it festers into something else? And that's where, I thought of that right away with these comments Saturday night. Respect the emotion. Respect how hard he plays. Respect how he wants to, be treated in the net and hold his teammates accountable. But also, is this planted a seed as to, like, are we going to be talking about this now for weeks on end? Because if something happens, and there's no response here or a bad play here, like, that's what worries me for the group. Because a lot of times these comments are behind the closed doors all the time, where a guy on the bench will yell down, hey, wake up there, we need a better play. Like, that stuff in game happens all the time. What we just saw is some of the things that happened behind closed doors, but it wasn't. So now what it is, it's we're going to be talking about it for a while until something else comes.
I hear you, but listen, they have sheltered everything up for a decade.
Right.
What has it gotten them? Nothing. Yeah. And it would have been better to hear it from the captain, quite frankly. These comments would have been better from Matthews, and I think what it does is put a spotlight on those guys. Like, are you going to speak like this?
I've said it for years, Brian, doing the SportsCenter hits in the playoffs where it's like it'll be a devastating loss where they just get crushed or something, and all of them will wheel out there and they'll be like, our structure and our execution. And I always say to Duthie, I'm like, this was nothing about structure or execution. Like, nothing to do with it.
Right.
Nothing to do with it, but that's what they would always go to.
Yeah, I think Stolarz, I think this is going to boost his reputation in the market. I think I think people are going to I think they love this kind of stuff. I know where you guys are going with it, and I think the hockey instinct is keep it in the room, and I understand why, and I get it. But this organization, I think, has been overwhelmed with this idea that the market is going to swallow you up, or you say the wrong thing, or it goes a certain direction, it's going to kill you. And I don't believe that's true. I think something needs to change. There needs to be a different sound, a different feel. I think this is actually better. A comment like this is coming when you're 3-2-1, because you're not at rock bottom. Like, snap out of it now, 3-2-1, get rocking. Like,
okay,
you've got
but
a lot of opportunity here.
Let me ask you this. You say, what does snap out of it mean to you? Let me hear that. What does snap out of it mean? You think someone's going to get their ass kicked now for running the goaltender over? Do you think they're going to start running?
Shouldn't they, though? Like, shouldn't someone react?
They should.
You haven't seen it in 10 years because a guy's been here for 2 years, a tandem goaltender, and he's playing a hero in the media. Now they're going to start.
Wrong. That doesn't mean he's wrong.
I totally agree, but we've been saying the same thing for 10 years, and it hasn't changed. And why is the goaltender saying it's going to change it? And
I don't know
all of a sudden
will.
It's going to be Slapshot.
I don't know. I'm not saying Slapshot here, but I think
I'm not either.
This is why these comments ring out, is because it strikes a nerve with a lot of fans. that there's a lot of fans that don't like that they're not tough enough, that there's not, there's old school fans, new school fans, there's people that look at it differently. And in reality, when you talk about team toughness, there's two ways to define it. Between the whistles, which I think they're tough enough. I don't think they get pushed around or pushed off pucks or they can't win battles or they can't get to the front of the net. Stolarz may see it differently, but they're pretty big, pretty savvy, veteran. Between the whistles, I think they're tough enough. Then there's the after the whistles, where it's a different story, clearly. Now, it's not the 80s anymore. It's not the same barometer. It's not the same definition of what you have to be considered team tough once the whistle is blown. But I don't know what I can expect. I don't know what to expect. But I think what makes this refreshing is that this was unexpected because for 10 years, it would have just been, yeah, we played hard tonight, and, we'll take it. Too bad we missed a point. We'll turn it over. Where at least maybe someone has to respond to this. Why not? Because they've tried everything else for a decade.
Yeah.
Why not try to poke a bear through the media for the first time that I can recall in the Matthews era? I don't remember another player calling out the leadership of the team.
You would never dare. You would never dare.
Okay.
Well,
but
no, I mean,
Florida,
just what's happened is no one would ever dare do what this guy just did.
Right.
But do you think Florida, I know it's not a story down there because no one cares and no one covers them. That's why. A comment could be made like this by someone in Florida. You'd never notice. No one pays attention. But I could see a Florida Panther player coming out and blasting their team.
Do you know what a Florida
that.
Panther player would say? What he just said is not even an option for us. Like, that is so far gone for us to even think about one of us having to say that. And you just talked about Maurice's rules and stuff like that. This stuff here is not even in the equation for the Tampa Bay Lightning, for the maybe Vegas, for Florida.
Winners.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
That's
it's
the
not
point.
about being tough and the slap shot and stupid stuff and fighting. It's just when people get pissed off that it doesn't happen is because there's a level of caring there. A level of caring that your goaltender's getting run over. A level of caring that your young stud that's been drafted just got cross-checked in the face and ran into the post, and you care about it. And it's just, if you're just going to say, that's not for me, it's a totally different vibe. And
it's a DNA, man. It's how you're wired, naturally wired.
One word comes to mind when I think of all of this. I know that both of you are talking about it. Accountability. That's really what it is. And how you view it. I mean, Stolarz called it out and said, who's being accountable for it? Somebody screwed up. Yeah, all of that type of stuff. My worry was going back to just me personally as a goalie going, this guy, Sean, he put a light on himself.
Sure.
Because you got it, that's the thing. I played with some of the greatest goaltenders of all time. I've never heard them once ever come out in the media and go, this guy's got to be better. This has got to be. And that's what concerns me because Stolarz, he's had a few good games and he's had a few okay games. Like, he's going to be the guy. He's playing every night. So what he did is he spoke, and he's allowed to, and he's respected to do that. But he's got to back it up with his play too.
100%. And again, the overtime stuff I think was a cheap shot at the players. And that's Matthews, Nylander, Riley. Those are your three longest standing star players. Those are the guys who run the room. It's their room, and it has been for a decade. And those three guys run the ice. Like, that's what makes the comment ring out. But again, they sold out on the 2-on-1. They didn't get it, and they got beat. It's a 3-on-3 shinny play. It happens. He still could have made the stop. But the other stuff is what really matters. The overtime stuff, whatever. That doesn't matter, whatever. It's going to come and go. But talking about how the other goalie is so relaxed, how you're not tough, how it'd be great if we got a reaction, like that chews at a team because you guys know it, man. Players, you're instinctively wired to go and attack, or you have to think first, then you go. Yes. And what the Leafs are is they're a think first, then go team. Where Florida is we're going. Tampa, when they won their cups, gloves are off, we're going. It doesn't matter. We don't care about a power play. We don't care about the scoreboard. We don't care if it's overtime. That's how we're naturally wired. The Leafs are not. And Stolarz has shined a light on that. And I think what makes it sting is they know it. And the problem is I don't know if you can't go into a lab and change that. What do you do? Like, it doesn't mean there aren't tough guys. It doesn't mean there aren't guys that next time won't jump, and I guarantee you they will. He'll get touched tomorrow night, and the gloves will fly. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
It'll
Happened
happen.
to Buffalo, I think, last year, where there was something happened, and Lindy Ruff was like, "It's embarrassing, our response to that." And the next game, there was line brawls.
Yes, exactly, and that will happen. But that's fine. You do it tomorrow night. What happens in March when he gets hit again? Do you instinctively say go, or do you have to stop and think first and say, "Oh yeah, Stoli called us out. We better go"? Because there's a big difference in that split second. That split second in the mentality is a completely different player. It's a completely different person. And that, we'll see, man. We'll see. But that's why those comments rung out, man, because
they did, man. Like that, right away, I couldn't wait. I'm like, we're talking Jays into Stolarz.
Yes.
That's what, that was the only thing I could think about today.
You know it. And
awesome.
and listen, today it was Kumbaya, and we're big. And I thought they all handled it pretty well. Like, I do. I think, hey.
As good as you can.
Yeah. Hey, Kumbaya, we're big boys. We talked it out. We hashed it out. It's all good. We move forward. Perfect. That's the way it should be. Willie pretend he didn't remember the play, which I found hilarious. I don't even remember.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I don't really remember. I haven't gone back to watch it. It was actually exactly what you'd expect out of Willie.
Yeah.
I don't really even remember that play. It was only an overtime game winner. Your man broke loose and scored. I don't know. Didn't go back and watch it. Okay.
That's awesome.
Moving on. All right. Luke Willson coming up. More on the Leafs. More on, you mentioned pissed off teams. There's a lot of them in the league right now. There's a bunch of them in this country right now that are wondering what's going on.
I'm asking you, Hayes. Tomorrow come up with like a 7 or 8 pack of the most pissed off people, maybe in sports, but you can definitely do NHL.
I will, 100%. 100%. I've got it. I got to whittle it down, man. I'm going to be working on that list.
That's the problem. It's a long list.
It's a long list. I got to whittle that thing down.
Dude, you just said Paul Maurice. Paul Maurice might be one of the most pissed off people.
They don't look good.
No,
like they're getting beat up, and they don't look good. Tampa's been brutal. Edmonton
John
looks
Cooper's got to be one of the most pissed off people in the league. Like, a lot of people are pissed.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. That list is still to come. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app. All right, Luke's coming up in the next hour. Something to chew on, brought to you by Boston Pizza as well. We'll get to that. We've obviously got a big one down at the Dome tonight. And I almost had a panic-inducing moment. I'll tell you about what almost happened to me last night. I was sweating bullets before I went on with Jay.
Was it when you said prided on the field?
I thought that was a word. I knew that was going to be the word. Is that not a word?
I don't know. You said it caught me off guard. I was just having a coffee and I heard prided and I was like, prided a word?
I'm not
they
sure.
They prided themselves in that?
I don't know if it is either.
Do you recall saying that?
I remember saying it. It is a word. Thank you, Doogie. See, there you go.
I don't know if it's a word.
I got to be honest. When I said it, I thought the same thing you were thinking. Like I don't know if that works.
I thought if you would have said that, somebody would have jumped in and said, "Cut." Like, it's from the top.
Cut. Well, I was on with Jay live. I'll tell you the next hour.
All right.
It was almost career-ending, potentially, or definitely was going to have an effect on how people viewed me. All right, hour 2 coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
What the when Wilson is cooking. Girl, you know it's true.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan. And there he is, Luke Willson. Luke Willson.
Parts, we're the Giants. We're the Giants in the fourth quarter.
No, not Parts. Listen, it's very, very early. I'm hoping we get 2 tonight. I hope we get Doogie's jammed us with a tough games. And you got to tip your cap. You know, they flip the coin like they normally do, and they're on a streak. You guys are on a streak.
Listen, we're getting calls literally from people all over the world.
It's analytics, you know. It's just analytics.
The
you're
whale?
gonna get
Yeah.
The whale's
Who's the whale, man? That actually made me laugh.
We had a whale from Singapore call me up.
Well, from Singapore.
Said, I want to fly you guys out, set you up, penthouse, 4 seasons.
$1 million each.
$1 million each up front, run the whole operation.
Yeah, is that right?
I said, lose my number. Don't ever call me again.
We're only doing this for OverDrive.
We only do it for OverDrive. Hayes and Bro right on. So we're not going to be enticed. I know people want us to step in and run their whole operation. We're not going to do it.
You guys are on fire.
We are seeing the board very clearly. Very clearly.
Like
Now we're betting on good teams. The Rams are a good team. The Colts are a good team. Like, that's kind of the way things have played out.
Yeah.
Is, you know, the best team generally wins, generally covers.
Yesterday I thought we were going to split. Going into the Sunday Nighter, you know, we had the Eagles covering, and I'm like, with 1.5, I'm like the Falcons will cover the spread.
Just the Niners have been so impressive, man. To their credit, all those injuries.
Yeah, and you said this. This is one thing that I'm obviously not a Niners guy, but I just love this about football is, we love to glorify the megastars, which rightfully so. There's guys in that league that can just do some unbelievable things. But you look at the Niners right now, and you want to talk about football, just why people love football. You lose Fred Warner. You lost Nick Bosa later. Your defense wasn't touted as an elite unit, coming into the year anyways. And Rob Saleh, who was just basically cast away with the Jets operation, which doesn't really say much if you're following the Jets right now. You just see everybody's playing for the brotherhood, the camaraderie. I mean, they stonewalled Bijan yesterday. Bijan averaged 2.9. That guy might be the best runner right now in the game. Obviously with the night McCaffrey had up there, I think he still holds the crown. But Bijan is up there with Saquon, with Jonathan Taylor, with CMC, and it's just this defense that has been smoked punched the Falcons in the mouth. And we lost. We're 10-11 right now. We're 10-11.
Yeah, and we're 12-8-1 and just getting cooking, really. But it's a long
Parks,
season.
I want to ask you a little bit about the brotherhood because we were talking about, and I know you check in with your Leafs once in a while.
Yeah.
About how they seem to, the persona about them is they're not really into the brotherhood and they're into points and goals and stuff. What is the NFL version of really caring about the brotherhood? Is that just next man up, I got to go do my job, or caring, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a combination of things, but to me it starts and ends with accountability. And I do believe it's obviously hard to quantify, but the teams that we went further, the first 2 years when we won it and then lost in the last play, you just had this sense that a lot of people gave a crap, if you will, more about something bigger than themselves. And I know this sounds sentimental, but it was you showed up on game day and you wanted success for other guys in your team and you wanted success for your coaching staff and you just cared that and you were accountable to the team. Where later on in my career, the year, I think one year went 10-5-1, then there was a 10-6, and there was a 9-7. And it's man, we're better than these records. I at least felt that way. But it became very individual. Okay, who's going to get all pro? Are we going to have an MVP this year? We don't like it that so-and-so got paid and this guy didn't. And like you said, it now becomes where it's it's not about the team. It's about me, then the team. In that level of accountability, it just doesn't, I don't know, it'd be in that fourth quarter when it's a tight game and you have that brotherhood or that camaraderie, you kind of looked around and say to yourself, we're going to find a way to get this done. I always go to one of the weirdest sideline moments of my career that sticks out crazy was in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. Our defense was balling. Kaepernick was struggling that game. And we had a chance to go and score a touchdown to basically make it a 2-score game late in this game off a turnover from our defense. And the game would have been done. And we end up getting stonewalled. I think it was a 3-and-out. We kick a field goal to go up 6. And we come off the field, and there's 2 minutes left. And I'm looking at another tight end on our team, and I'm like, man, we just failed. And he looked at me and said, don't worry, man. Our defense has got us. And as Kaepernick's driving the field, I'm looking at him we just blew it ourselves. And he kept tapping me, being dude, trust the Legion of Boom. They're going to make a play for us. They knew how badly we had executed there. And, everyone knows what happened there at the tip to Sherm. Malcolm Smith is a guy who's on a household name, but he was a guy where I'd say, was just always about the team. Ended up getting MVP of the Super Bowl next week. So I know it was a bit long-winded parts, but, to me, that was kind of a brotherhood moment where you just depend on each other.
Right.
Yeah. Well, again, when you're winning, the vibes are...
Yes.
Got to be electric. Obviously, the Jays are going into Game 7 tonight, and they've won 3 of their last 4. They win big last night. They're at home.
You think they get it done?
I do.
Yeah, I kind of think they're going to win tonight. I do. I'm with you. I think they're going to win tonight. But
you worry about Bieber?
Not necessarily. Not they got Kirby on the mound for the Mariners, and the Jays destroyed him in Game 3. I'd be more concerned if I was a Mariner fan based on the starting pitching.
Yeah.
When you get to the bullpen, that's a different story.
This is if you're a Mariners guy, I think you want it to be close. The thing about the Jays is when they get hot, it's the game's a blowout.
Exactly. They score so many runs.
If it's a close game and the bullpens get in, I'd be a little like
advantage Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I worry about. Because I worry that Hoffman, like I was nervous seeing that guy. Like I was actually I don't know why, just because you weren't sure what you're going to get. So you got a good performance last night. If you see him again tonight, you're going to be able to follow that up with it.
I don't know if he can
tack
go
on the
tonight.
runs, man. It seems like whoever can tack on the runs and get that 4, 5, and 6, it's like they win the game usually.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Whoever jumps on it first offensively is usually the winner, man.
That's right. Yeah, it's basically been a pace car series. I mean, for the most part, game one was a low event game. Other than that, it's just been
great.
Who can hit more
baseball.
home runs?
Great for in this country. One of the things you guys know this, but I played a little baseball back in the day. People don't realize that like Canada has had a lot of successful MLB players and is kind of low key. Like obviously we're a hockey country, but Baseball Canada has been awesome on the world stage numerous times. And we've put out a ton of great MLB players. I mean, one of them's playing the series, and Josh
Naylor. Absolutely. And he's been good, too,
He's
man.
been great.
Yep. He hit a home run last night.
Dude, that home run spinorama was offside selling.
He, like, spun around and was just like, all right. At first, I was like, did he think that was going foul? Because he didn't move or anything. And then the replay, it's like, he did like a 360.
He knew it.
Oh,
he knew it. And he had fans. I think he had family like up behind the dugout. He keeps pointing to them every time he gets on base.
Again, though, like you look at Joey Votto, Canadian.
Yeah.
Morneau, obviously he's not playing, but Morneau is a Canadian.
Yeah, Larry Walker's in the Hall of Fame.
Absolute legend. Like we've had, as a country, a lot of guys.
Vladdy Guerrero Jr., born in Montreal, Quebec.
That's right.
And I love Vladdy, man. Last night he said he's born for this. And, like, I appreciate that, but now he's got to go out and do it again tonight. Yeah, what he's done throughout the Yankees series and this series, like, even if he doesn't have a night tonight, this gets back to what you just said. You hope someone else lifts him up.
Totally.
Right? Like, if he has an off night, strikes out a couple of times, goes 1 for 5 or 0 for 5 or something like that, don't let him go out that way.
Yeah.
If you're his teammates.
I'll tell you who's lifting him up right now. Ernie Clement.
Ernie Clement.
Who is this guy?
Dude, he's a stud. Only Vladdy has more hits in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Than Ernie Clement.
Ernie Clement comes up every time he's at the plate. I'm like, here's a double.
He's getting on base.
Well, how much cake does that guy make? Like, I would love to know what that guy's contract. He could probably make $700,000.
It's not a lot of money.
That's probably what it is. There's something egregious like league minimum, and then you got Vladdy making 50.
Yeah, 1.9 million. So like combined, they're making 51.9 million. Clement's OPS is over 1,100. All he does is get on base.
Yeah,
he's incredible. Ernie Clement is an absolute stud. So in terms of what went right in the NFL, there's a lot because it was I found this was a week where it feels like teams are going down different roads.
Totally.
Like the Chiefs looked really good.
Chiefs are take the records out of it.
Yeah.
You were to ask me right now, my number one team in the AFC. It's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Really?
And there's a pretty big gap between two for me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of who.
Like, they were. And then, granted, they're playing the Raiders. But with Rashee Rice in the fold, so you roll out there right now with a much better O-line than last year. You go Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce as your starting four. And now you have the gadget guys and Tyquan Thornton who's going to go down the field, and then on the flip side, and I know they were a couple weeks ago, they struggled against the Jags, but a lot of that was penalties. I don't think anybody believes that Steve Spagnuolo won't be able to create a defense that is above average or better. Like, who are you putting in front of them in the AFC right now?
Well,
Indy would be my only other one.
Yeah, and Indy, again, I continue to look at them and say, nah, I don't believe it yet. They went in there
believe it.
and destroyed the Chargers yesterday. The Chargers are in big trouble.
Yes.
Yeah. Denver has been very shaky. Credit to them.
Very shaky.
Unbelievable fourth quarter.
Agreed.
Dude, I told you about
shaky.
the Chargers, Hayes, and you wouldn't believe it. You were like, the Chargers are the real deal, new coach. They always do this, man. They always do this.
They do. Their offensive line is a joke. Like, Herbert's running for his life. Look, they've started 3-0 all against divisional opponents.
Yeah,
including Kansas City and Brazil.
They lost both tackles.
Yes, in camp.
Yes, so that's why it's like it is tough. And again, it's not fun to say, but like I thought Pittsburgh could maybe be a little nasty. They looked now. Granted, Mike Tomlin's historically bad on Thursday nights, but that defense, which has been the strength of their team, has not looked great all year. Now you go to Buffalo.
It sounds like Buffalo. Now they're on a bye, so they're not involved in the conversation this week. I still think Buffalo I think it's imperative they end up with that top seed.
Which we don't even like the way the
New
Patriots
England's
are
looking
rolling
pretty
right
good
now.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Like they look, it's Tennessee, but still they look good yesterday.
They're what, 5-2?
Yeah.
Like it's
with the
weird.
tiebreak as of now.
It's good for the league, but there's a lot of parity this year on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Even the
Yeah,
NFC.
there is.
You know, who's your NFC top dog right now?
Is it the Rams?
To me,
yeah,
it's the
Detroit
Rams.
is still there. The Packers, like
Rams at 5-2, 2 losses, both because they're kicker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Philly game,
Yep.
you all remember that kicking debacle. They lost an OT against the Niners where they missed an extra point and they missed a field goal and went to overtime and lost. So, but I mean, do I feel like, man, the Rams are the clear-cut one?
No, I wouldn't feel that way either. It's a long season.
Yes.
And like I can tell you, Green Bay, LaFleur takes a ton of heat from this fan base, but all he does is find a way to win.
Yeah.
Always.
4-1-1, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And like his lifetime record's exceptional. And Parsons was flying yesterday.
Flying.
Now, Jacoby Brissett, the Cardinals are a mess.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's worth in the future. I think it probably means it's a good sign because of the guy we're talking about. But that's going to be the question. I still think Green Bay's lurking. Like I think
Lurking for sure.
they're lurking, and they have a chance by the end of the year to be much better
Absolutely.
than they
Yeah.
are today.
Absolutely. The strangest thing for me right now, and it's funny how this is going because everybody is the Eagles and where to put them.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts to me has been the same guy he's been. Like he's never been a true pocket passing, go through my progression, dissect the defense guy. And he had some great numbers yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, big plays of them. But take out Hurts for a sec. The Eagles' defense has not been as dominant as they were last year. Last year, that unit was unbelievable.
Yes.
But the big one that's crazy is that Saquon in the run game has been horrible. Saquon in the run game has been gone from one of the best rushing offenses in the history of the NFL to below average thus far through 6
How does that happen, though? Like, he was easily the best player in the league last year.
Yes, they're a little banged up at O-line, but the reality is the new offensive coordinators, he's not the same guy. Patullo, he just whatever is happening, to me, I look at this, I'm like, that staff with the new OC, the message is not getting to the players the same way because there's no way a runner like Saquon and having some of the talent they still do on the offensive line should be having the rush games that they're having right now. I knew it was coming. I'm like, coming.
And up on the first star, Al's brother.
No interest in Singapore, huh?
Oh, we turned it down, right, Al's brother? We have integrity.
Yeah, we're not sellouts like some people on this panel. We are sticking to the OD brand.
The Tostitos thing, I was dying laughing.
What is that about? Am I missing something with that?
Him and
He's
Jay.
on Tostitos commercials now. Him and Jay.
Him and Jay are the face of Tostitos.
They are.
Partsy, we're doing the Tostitos stuff, and I read this text from these numpties right here. Call me a sellout.
We turned down Singapore. This guy can't turn down a lucrative Tostitos campaign.
Yeah, we're focused on making picks. He's focused on chips. Like
Yes.
I don't
Making
know
money, that's
what
all
else
it
to
is.
tell you.
Cash is king, boys. Cash is king.
That's why we're making it. We're making it with picks.
We're
He's making it
cashing.
with chips. Picks over chips. Picks over chips.
That's right. TG.
Yeah.
TG.
TG, man. TG. All right, so we both get to pick a game tonight. And they're tough games. Like Al's brother, you and I were on the board first. Tampa at Detroit. This is a big profile game. Like massive profile game.
Yeah.
Both teams are beaten up. Bucks, it's down to 5.5. So Bucks are getting 5.5. Lions laying 5.5 in Detroit tonight. Al's brother, where is your head at with
Can I
this
ask
game?
you something real quick?
Go ahead.
And I'm not trying to lead you astray here. Were you surprised by this line?
Yes, in terms of it being too high in favor of Detroit. Is that what you're
Yeah.
suggesting? The way Tampa's been playing, I get their injuries.
But so is Detroit,
Yes,
and especially
Detroit
in their
has been-
secondary.
Yes, and Detroit has not been flawless this year.
And historically, Baker's done very, very well against Detroit.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, he has. He loves
I
Ford
would pick
Field.
the Bucks.
Wow. That might actually jinx us and go the opposite way.
I'm just letting you guys know I would take the Bucks.
Uh-oh. That's like Vladdy walking in with the math.
Are you being serious? Because I would definitely take the Bucks.
I would Parts. You would take the Bucks, right?
This is jamming
I don't know
me,
if you're
Al's
being
brother.
serious or not, though, but
I
I
don't
would.
feel
I would take the
anymore, 'cause
Bucks.
This guy.
These
this
guys
guy
are in
can't
such
pick
a
a win.
dark
Mayfield
place.
with 5.5 points.
Yeah.
He's going against a beat-up secondary. Mike Evans is back.
All
I'm
right,
taking the Bucks all
I
day.
know.
Al's brother, clear the mechanism. Don't listen to these idiots. Where is your head at?
You know, like the number was 6.5 up until about 14 minutes ago. I'm not sure what happened. The Doogie special goes, they get a hold of the people at FanDuel, and all of a sudden Detroit finds an extra point here. But look, I think we still got to stick to our process and stick to our gut here, Hayes. I mean, this number does seem a little fishy, but it does seem just a bit too high. Baker Mayfield has been playing some good ball. Like, he didn't have Godwin or Evans last week, and they still went up and put up 30 points over a pretty good, defense in San Francisco. And you look at him on the road in his entire career with the Bucs, he's 9-2 as a road dog against the spread in a Bucs uniform. 9-2, and a lot of that is because of the fourth quarter heroics and that little backdoor cover, and that's what I love tonight. A nice backdoor cover against Detroit. I don't know if they got enough to win this game, but 5.5 points. I think we got to take the dogs once again here.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. The Bucs feel like a team of destiny right now. Like the way they've been beaten up, the Baker Mayfield story. They're getting MVP love from you too. The Chip King, you're calling out. You think he might be in the lead right now?
Call me the Chip King.
The Chip King himself.
I love it.
The Chip King. You got Baker. If you were to put forth an MVP vote right now, would he be number one on that list?
Yeah, probably.
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes is up there. Danny Dimes. First off, stop saying that. That guy doesn't exist anymore. It's Indiana Jones. You are not a Colts fan if you're going to call him Danny Dimes.
Someone posted a great tweet of remember Usual Suspects, Verbal Kint at the end, how he turned. That's Danny Dimes.
He starts walking.
Yes, turning into Indiana Jones. Like he's leaving New York, and then all of a sudden he's Kaiser Soze.
Like this is one. I get that situations are always different, but how is it that Danny Dimes was so horrid in New York, and we're talking about him in MVP era? Because
the Giants are a joke, the Jets are a joke, the Browns are a joke.
I'm with you, but that's still a pretty stark contrast.
I get it. It's thrown to the wolves too early with a bad team, bad mojo, toxic environment, horrible ownership, everything across the board.
Just crazy.
And you have to be such a special person to find a way to elevate beyond that.
Dude,
and,
no kidding.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people just disappear.
Yeah.
Well,
Luke,
go ahead.
Does this look more badly on Anthony Richardson or the New York Giants? Because I look at that Colts team, and Anthony Richardson, they couldn't do anything with that guy. Meanwhile, it's pretty much the same core. They just brought in a new quarterback, and all of a sudden they're the best team in football.
I would say Giants, but it's a good argument. The only reason is because Anthony Richardson is so young. Sometimes it takes a while for that position. But I don't get how – obviously Jackson Dart has really sparked the New York – really sparked the NFL. But I don't get how you let a guy like Daniel. I get why you let him go because things weren't going well, but I don't get how all of a sudden 1 year removed, this man is 6-1 in the AFC and not slowing down.
I give Indy credit for pulling the trigger on naming him the starter.
Yeah.
Don't you think a lot of organizations would have just said, nah,
been cowards about it?
Yeah, they would have said, we got this young stud, and he's our guy. Even though he pulled the plug on our whole team last year, he's still the guy. And in the world of entitlement, they wouldn't have done it.
I agree.
And they did it, man.
And I'm telling you, no, this is not a majority thought or majority favorite thought, but I think that the owner there, what's her name again? The lady there?
The Irsay
being
daughters.
on the sideline. I love that. Let's be accountable. Hey, yeah, sure. Like you said, we drafted Anthony Richardson. We put a lot of resources into him. This guy's better. He's going to give us a better chance when he's playing.
All right. Well,
6-1.
We're on the Bucs tonight. Lock it in, Alice, brother. A lot of people listening. And now people check in to wonder what they have to fade. You guys are on the clock. You guys are on the clock with this second game. What do we got?
This
Seattle.
one's easy.
What's the spread here, Doogie?
3 points.
Wow, laying 3 at home to Houston?
Yeah, Houston's offense.
Explain this line.
To me,
dude, this is a slam dunk, man.
Yeah,
just say it, Partsy.
We're going with the Hawks at home. Let's hear it out.
I need to hear this.
Time out. Flabbergasted by that play.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, man.
Well, have you seen the Houston offense over the last couple of weeks? They're finally
who have they played? Who have they played the last couple of weeks?
It doesn't matter. They're
doesn't
putting up
matter.
Points finally.
This is your guy.
Who have Seattle played?
Doesn't matter.
Look at Seattle's wins. Seattle has won, and they've played who? Jacksonville, Arizona, New Orleans, and Pittsburgh. All of those teams have terrible defenses.
And who have the
spectacular
Texans
numbers.
beat?
Who'd they beat last week? They beat Tennessee, and they skunked the Ravens last week, 44-0.
That's
Sure,
right.
but that defense has been elite
Tennessee
all
and the Ravens.
season.
Yeah, and how's that offense been? Listen, I'll tell you what.
The
You
last
want the
couple
Texans?
weeks, 35 points.
You feel good against bum teams. You want the Texans? Take them. You can call both games, and if you win this one, we'll give you 2 points.
I don't have
what
to.
are you
already
getting
took
out of it?
Seattle.
Yeah, we're playing prevent defense.
Yeah,
over here,
exactly.
dude. You guys,
Prevent defense in week 7.
We're the Giants
you guys
right
are,
now, man.
Yeah,
We're sending 8 back.
Wow. The Giants.
Yeah.
You are the Giants.
I'll go Brian Burns
joke
after
of an
this
organization,
game if I have
thinking you're going to win in Denver, and now all of a sudden you guys are about to blow it again.
Let's see what. Okay, lock it in, man. Lock in the Seahawks.
We're on the Hawks, man, and I do think there'll be an offensive struggle at times. But I really think that this defense, the 2 wins that Alsbro referring to, C.J. Stroud has looked lost at times. Now, having Nico Collins back and healthy is going to help, and it looks like Witherspoon might not play, so that'll jam us a bit. But I think Sam Darnold finds a way to get enough points in this defense, and I really don't think that this Texans offense is going to be able to do much tonight.
This is somewhat of a weird question because we're used to the London games and getting acclimated. This is a 10 o'clock start tonight, is it not?
But not out there. It'd be 7.
No, I know, but in Houston, like they're Central Time.
They're
like,
Central, so
when do
it'd be
you
at 9
ever
o'clock.
play at 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like,
That's
especially
a late
football.
game.
Yeah, you're just not like they'll be fine. They'll be up for it.
Totally.
But like this is rare. Is
Very
it not?
rare. Very strange. Very strange ordeal. And to be honest, like the Hawks, the game that scares me, I know you're on Baker night, is like the Hawks have looked really good all year. Even their loss to San Fran, thought they really, and that was a healthy San Fran. I thought they really had a shot to win that thing late in the game. I think it was Nick Bosa made the big play. But it's like that loss that the Hawks had to Baker Mayfield scares me a bit because he did whatever he wanted. Their defense has been very good outside of that. So, I mean, I don't think Stroud is Baker Mayfield, but it'll be interesting to see if they can really, if that defense can get humming. This one could get a little ugly, especially if they can manage points early.
I love it. So we got a new show starting. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
One of those things where I've always kind of wanted to do a podcast, and TSN has been helping out. We've kind of drafted something up. A little bit of football, kind of back ends, more football stuff, a little more in depth, but more so interviews of athletes or people, lifestyle people. So we actually just filmed it with Michael Saunders. So it'll be kind of cool having a guy that played obviously in Seattle, from Victoria, played in Toronto, was on both ALCS teams. The second one, I think, hit 381 in the 2016 playoff run.
Stud.
Captain Canada, went to the Olympics with Team Canada as well. So just kind of hearing his story and like coming out of Victoria, playing the big leagues. I've known him for a little bit. He's epic.
Awesome
I'm not
guy.
allowed to use profanity, but he's the man.
Love
yeah, just kind of, should be fun. I hope people tune in.
All right. Well, there you go.
I don't want to give too much away.
No, I understand that. TSN's YouTube channel to be on TSN.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we
Film
might
never
be playing
lies.
It. Film never lies.
It's a big football saying. You want to argue with the coach, just go to the film.
Film never lies.
Yeah.
With Luke Willson.
Like right now, the film says that we're 5 games back.
It does.
And it's not lying.
Tell you what, if this keeps moving this way, you got to start. You got to have Al's brother on the show.
You guys got to get
You got to have him on. You got to get Al's brother.
Whenever you want. You want to get the behind the scenes of how Hayes and Bro do our
I would
thing?
love to see you guys breaking down tape.
yeah.
I do have one quick one for you. I meant to say,
ever.
a friend of mine flew in from Seattle to watch. He's going to Game 7. He's in Game 6. And I'm like, hey, man, let's go to the Leafs game. So we're at the Kraken game, Leafs Kraken. And I kid you not, first youngster I see, I'm not joking, is wearing a 92 Jeff O'Neill signed jersey on.
Wow.
Swear to God, this kid was probably 6-7 years old.
Epic.
Yeah.
That was my buddy Joey's son, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to take a photo, but I'm like, me taking a photo of a 7-year-old would be really uncomfortable.
Yes. That would be very uncomfortable. Very smart play.
Kid seemed like an absolute legend, though. I'll say that.
How about that?
Yeah.
The O'Neill jerseys.
Yeah, it was pretty swaggy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Good mojo. It didn't work out so well for the Leafs in the end on Saturday, but
Right.
the Jays picked him up the next night.
No question.
And we'll see what comes of it tonight.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Al's brother, great seeing you, as always.
Partsy,
well.
we'll get a couple back
Blocks.
tonight, Partsy.
We have to, or
Tonight's
we're
a big
done.
one.
No, we're not done. We'll keep
I
grinding.
think it's a touchdown after tonight. I think
Could
it's a
be.
touchdown. There's a lot of distractions over here. podcasts, like different campaigns, Tostitos campaigns. So, brother, you and I were in the trenches.
Hey, you know what? If tonight goes bad, we're going to have a players-only meeting.
Yeah, you might.
Me and Parksy.
You know it.
Behind
might be down
doors.
a whole touchdown after tonight.
That's
Tampa,
right.
they're going to cover. I mean, I really think Texans money line's a worthwhile wager on FanDuel tonight. So
okay.
Good luck with your Seahawks, pal.
House brother.
We'll see.
I may see you in Singapore soon, pal. Great seeing you, House brother. There he is, House brother, and Luke Willson. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Crave. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, we'll get to our best bets powered by FanDuel still to come. Monday Nighters tonight. What a Monday in sports, man. Game 7, Jays Mariners. I'm heading down. I love that it's an 8 p.m. start, which is going to be great. And, the vibes.
Secret parking spot, Hazy?
I do. I have a different spot than I do for the Scotiabank Arena spot. Different spot.
That's too far away.
Way too far. You can't go from, I'm not going to say where it is, but you can't go from where it is all the way to the Rogers Center. It's just way too much of a haul.
So you have a different
suit.
Yes. I'm in a suit. I got the good wheels on today. It was a little bit rainy last night. I have a different spot around the dome.
I always think a good move is like a close hotel, and you just pull it in there and you hand the valet guy $50 and say, there you go, man.
Not a bad idea.
It's not a bad move.
Not a bad call.
It is. Now, did you tell us why you had an incident almost on
Okay,
Jays?
so here's what happened last night. The Rogers Center, famous for their popcorn. They make a mean popcorn. And in the press box, it is there
Free.
for free anyone that wants to get after it. And I got off after multiple bags of popcorn last night. And I got down to the field, and I could feel I had a kernel, the back of my throat.
A Traeger kernel?
Yes.
Traeger
So
kernel.
I'm going on live with Jay. So I'm giving it to I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to go. But you know how it is. You don't really know until you start talking.
Right.
Until you go, that thing can pop at any second. And if it does, you're done.
Yeah.
You're finished. So I'm
How
trying.
close to going on air are you burying popcorn? Because you got to know, burying dry, popcorn like that right before air is dumb.
Stupid. It was a really stupid play, but it's a late night, man. It's like 11 o'clock. I had dinner before I went down. So 8th inning or something. I'm like, all right, I got to fire up I'm going to fire up a popcorn because I don't know what. Maybe it goes to extras. And what if I'm here all night? What if they run out of popcorn? These kind of stupid things that run through your mind. So I'm there, and Peter's like, all right, minute, 30 seconds, and I am sweating bullets. Being like, this could be it. Because if I get on and start talking about Vladdy and I start choking out, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, this is not a pre-tape, right? This is live TV.
Live with Jay. Live on Jay. Right after the game, man. And I am sweating bullets. And I found a way to get through it. I don't know how. I learned my lesson. It will not happen again tonight. But you want to hear about sweating bullets and possibly bringing the underpant cam into play. Are you seeing this Ticketmaster issue that they're having?
Oh.
Ticketmaster is having a problem with ticketing right now.
For the game tonight?
Yeah, it's a company-wide issue. I guess something to do with Amazon and AWS and some program that's being used. And they issued a statement a couple hours ago saying, the Jays did, we're aware of what's going on, trying to get to the bottom of this. This is why you got to bring ticket stubs back into the swing of things, man. Have both for big games. Because if people show up and they can't get on the app or something, what the hell are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, you got to do it for every game, man. Every game's a big game for somebody.
But
Very true. Very true. If it's your only game, man, you want to make sure you can get into the park.
But this is a tech issue, and this is you're going to have 50,000 people there. Is it 55?
Yeah, it's about 44,000 to sell out. 45,000.
Yeah, 45,000 people trying to get in. They want to go through security anyways. You got to try and have tight security, and you're going to have it. An issue with data.
Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Look at this. They throw Amazon right under the bus. Ticketmaster does. But, yeah, we are actively working with both groups to resolve the issue as soon as possible, and we'll share an update in the coming hours. Please check back soon for the latest updates and hold off on managing your tickets as we work through this. Game 7 tonight. And it's not the Jays' fault. This is society. This is what we're slaves to apps and phones and technologies and emails and all that kind of stuff. But this is a worst-case scenario, man. Game 7. What are you going to do? Yeah. It's a global outage today, I guess. AWS having that problem.
Did you hear what JP said? He thinks it's a conspiracy because Amazon headquarters are in Seattle.
Never
know. You think they're doing that?
JP might be onto something, man. Jamming up the Jays tonight.
Yeah,
jamming up the Jays.
Jamming up the fans.
JP knows what he's talking about. He loves a tinfoil hat.
Wow, listen, the data, I feel awful because I got friends, I got family going down. Like there are going to be people, and if you can't get in or you can't scan your tickets or whatever, there's going to be bedlam.
All right.
I think they got it all sorted out.
Let's hope they figure it out. Let's hope they figure it out.
Sorted out.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be okay in the end, but if you continue to experience challenges, like this is the problem. I mean, listen, hopefully everyone fills the building tonight. Everything's okay. We still have 2.5 hours until first pitch. But I can tell you, on a Monday night in October, downtown, usually pretty sleepy. It will be rocking this evening.
And Gosman was pleading with the fans. It's one thing, American fans, the difference between American fans and Canadian fans. American fans in a big game, they're not sitting down. They are not sitting down for the whole. Canadian fans, they will sit down tonight. Like, they're not. Yeah. He was saying, he sent out a tweet saying, you better not sit down. You better stand up and cheer the whole game. Canadian fans don't do that, man.
No.
Canadian fans, they want to sit down at their event.
We like to sit down.
Yeah, they're not going to stand up. American fans, because I remember my dad came to a game of the Stanley Cup Finals. He was like, I sat down. I couldn't see anything the whole game. Everyone's standing up.
What about what if Python stands up? The guy with
behind
the arms.
home plate?
Yes.
That's a good question. I guess if he does, everyone's going to have to stand up, right?
Yes.
It's basically he will determine what everyone's doing. But you're right. It comes and goes. People react to plays. That's what it is. You turn a big double play, the place is electric, everyone's up. You hit a home run, big at bat, big strikeout, but it's not going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes of standing. That's not going to happen.
They're not doing it, man.
No, but I think the Dome has been great. I was a little bit surprised by the Gosman tweet because I've been there for every home game, and it to me has been absolutely electric.
Yeah, I don't think he was showing any displeasure with any of the fans' support or anything. I think he just was trying to reinforce, let's be rocking and loud tonight.
Right, elevate even more if you can. And you would hope that'll be the case tonight because Game 7's, there's a lot of nervous energy in the building. There's a lot of nervous energy, and it doesn't matter where you're from. Yes, Toronto's different. Toronto has a different history, I guess. Of course it does if you're a sports fan. But I don't care where you're from. Game 7 is
energy,
nervous. It's energetic. It's crazy. Up front, I think the first pitch will be electric tonight. I think people will go crazy. But if it's, if the Mariners start rallying or they get a bit of a lead, it'll quiet down. And it's not that people are quieting down because they're not still happy to be there. It's just because they're going to be
nervous,
shook and nervous, and there's going to be anxiety. Absolutely.
Well, I just hope they win. I hope it's a clean game, and I don't want it to be an umpire like a Leslie Nielsen. We can't have Leslie Nielsen behind the plate.
Can't do it. You're right. This is a scenario. Just hopefully there's no issues. Call a clean game. Establish your strike zone. Apply it to both teams.
Yeah.
And let the players
sort it out.
Sort this out. Exactly.
Yeah. Would you want nail biter, Hayes? Do you want it to come down to or do you want it to be like a 6-2 kind of get through this and have the lead early and run it out? What do you want? Last night's scenario, or do you want this thing coming down to just an electric play? I think Vladdy homer, a Springer homer to win the game. I don't know if I can take it. I hate the anxiousness of that.
Well, if you're giving me the answer that the Jays win in the end, I'll take the latter every time, because then you've got a moment that
a walk-off
exactly that just immediately becomes a Mount Rushmore moment.
Yeah, if it goes the other way, you're like, I put in so much time and effort into this, and it's all over a Cal Raleigh home run, and it's over and it's done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
Well, and that's likely what's going to factor into tonight. Like, the big boys are going to likely determine what happens.
Yep.
Is Raleigh going to be the one with the big home run? Is Vladdy going to be the one? Like, they've been going tit for tat throughout the series.
Yeah, one of those two guys is going to hit a 3-run home run tonight. It might be a difference maker.
Yep, I would
also
think that's probably going to happen.
Isn't there always some unsung hero? Isn't it the Clement, or is it, Barger, like somebody like that? It's going to make, like, Stephon Matteau. Remember the wraparound? Like, there's always some guy, a plugger.
Maybe. I mean, listen, there's a combination of it all, right? Like, yes, you go back to the early 90s, Ed Sprague had a big moment, but also Robbie Ellimar had a big moment. The biggest moment of all is Joe Carter. The biggest moment in 15 was Bautista. I think you'll take it any which way it plays out tonight. If it is Isaiah Kiner Falefa hitting some big double to win the game, so be it.
I think we're hoping for the more Messier we will win tonight as opposed to Stephon Matteau.
Right. I think that you paint a perfect picture. It is a Vladdy walk-off or some heroic at bat by Vladdy late in the game. That's the perfect way to put a bow on this. And listen, he's done enough leading up to tonight where he's playing with house money in terms of where his reputation is at. Right? He can add to it. I don't think he can subtract from it. I think he's done so much in the last 3 weeks that he's just established himself as a playoff performer. It's been one of the most clutch runs we've ever seen in Toronto sports.
He's bought himself 5 years.
Yes,
man.
he has. But I think he could buy himself 7 or 8, if that makes sense, if he goes off tonight and they get to a World Series. Like, it's nothing but bonus now. You're playing with house money. And I think Seattle probably looks at it the same way. Seattle, they've only been to they haven't been to a championship series since 2001. Like they're not full of winners in Seattle. They're not a city that wins a ton. Yes, the Seahawks did, but their basketball team left. Their hockey team's been there for a handful of years. They haven't done anything. That market is not. Seattle's way down the list. When you think of winning markets, they're not even in the top 20 in North America.
Yeah.
Toronto's way ahead of them. And we look at Toronto as like, man, we got some demons here, and it's been a struggle. Seattle is way behind where Toronto is, in my estimation. But that's what makes this fascinating tonight is neither team really knows what to do. Neither team is going to be overly comfortable. And neither team can really point to another example in the past and apply it to tonight. It's uncharted territory for everybody.
Maybe the key, Hayes, you might have just said it right there. Whoever can get comfortable and feel good about themselves going into this and act like it's just normal. Mm-hmm. And the Jays say it all the time. Their players, you just got to play it like it's another game. Whoever can do it the best is probably coming out on top.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And Shane Bieber making his first playoff start at the Dome. Right? Yeah. His first two were on the road, Yankee Stadium out in Seattle. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what that looks like for him. He's going to be on the mound to start things off. He's the pace car for this team. You're playing at home. What's your starting pitcher going to look like top of one? He sets the pace immediately tonight. And, it's a pretty incredible story. Coming off Tommy John, they acquired him at the trade deadline. Biggest game in the last 30 years. Like I said, in 15-16, they didn't have a game. They didn't have a game 7. They didn't reach it in 15 or 16. This is as big as it gets. I love how
everybody's saying, this is why they got him.
Yeah, this is why you got him.
They knew that this was coming up.
Yeah, this is why you got him. This is why you signed Nathan Lucas. This is why you bring in Ernie Clement. And bring
the guy he's going
Barger.
against, didn't he get yanked in Seattle?
Yeah, he got crushed.
Yes.
And the Jays, they scored 8 earned on him, I believe, off 3 home runs.
Perfect.
He got destroyed.
Perfect.
George Kirby.
Yeah,
so obviously that sets up pretty well for the Jays, but they got to go out and execute.
Yeah, and you wonder if he will be nervous about it or if he has a response about it. That's the biggest thing.
Yes.
I don't know, Kirby's good, but the Jays can get to him.
They can.
They've proved it.
They have proven that.
Yeah,
they've been a resilient team, man. We'll see. And the managers are going to factor in when they go to the bullpen, who they use, what game plan you have. Like this will challenge John Schneider tonight because it's totally unpredictable. Maybe Bieber's brilliant and goes 6-7 innings and you can put your feet up. Maybe he gets blown up early. Then what? How do you respond? Maybe it's a shootout tonight.
What do you think? Try to look ahead into your post-game hit. What do you think Hedge is coming to you with? Like, where's your head at? Is it just total positivity, or is it going to be what the hell was Schneider thinking? Like, you gotta have a feel for what you're getting into.
I feel like they're going to win tonight. I feel like it's going to be I think a lot of runs are going to be scored. That's kind of in the nature of it. Even with the nervous energy, I just, the both teams have scored runs.
I got a story.
I think the Jays are going to find a way to win tonight.
What if Brendan Little's the story?
He's not going to be. That I can guarantee.
You guarantee he's not coming out of that.
You think there's zero chance he comes out of the
unless
bullpen?
This goes 16, 17 innings or something like that, and you have to. I just don't see a scenario where they're going to put him back in. I don't see how you can trust him.
What if he comes in and saves the day?
That'd be incredible.
That would be the storyline, right?
An incredible redemption story, Noodles. And that would be something Hedge, I guarantee you, would be asking Keegan and I after the game. We'll find out. All right, best bets coming up, and something to chew on as well, brought to you by Boston Pizza. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, something to chew on brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. I'm always walking past that Boston Pizza on Front before and after the Jays games, and rocking before the game. After the game, we got a late Monday nighter. It'll be packed down there. It'll be awesome. And I've been asking about these Anthony Stolarz comments. And which comment from the Maple Leafs goaltender do you think held the most weight to it? What he had to say about defending the crease? What he had to say about the poor performance in overtime or the overall team play? Where do you guys stand on that?
For me, it's defending the crease because the weigh in on the other stuff, it's subject to his opinion. And I think that's where O talked about, like that would piss off the guys in the room and the coaching and all of that. But, the physicality, 100%. I'm behind that.
Yeah.
The one that got my attention was the overtime play. I know it wasn't like Willie's finest moment, but
yeah,
I don't know. Seems to do a lot of good.
He's been hugging him the game before. When Willie made the great pass.
Awesome play. You won us the game. Won a lot of games for them.
Yeah.
And then you have that moment. It's like you got a goalie that's been there for 1 year, a little bit over a year, calling you out, saying, you want to be on the ice in that time, you better skate. It's like, I don't know, man.
The overtime one is a wild comment.
It is, man.
Like
it's a wild scene, as you would say, Brian.
It's a wild scene, man. If you want to be on in overtime, you better.
You know how many
work
overtime
harder.
game-winning goals this guy has? Like, been a part of winning the game in overtime? And he threw out, if you want to be on at that time. What?
Like he's the guy who opens the gate.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Gotta come through me. Like,
he makes the decision. That one, I think he'd like to have back.
Yeah.
That one stung. Like you're calling out Matthews, Nylander, and Riley on their 3-on-3 overtime play is, I think, a little bit extreme. But I think he's 100% right, and I think he should. And I like that he was honest and emotional and genuine about defending the crease,
right?
Because that stings, man. We all played when you're 7-8 years old. You're told don't let anyone touch your goalie. Like it's literally one of the first things every old parent coach would say when you're a kid. Yeah. Don't let anyone touch your goalie. Everyone knows that. All right, go out and have fun. Like that would be basically the chat before the game. Yeah. These guys are in the National Hockey League and they need their goalie to call them out for that. That's not a good look, man. Yeah. That's not a good look.
Hopefully they sorted it out yesterday. They didn't wait till today. Like I would immediately, if I was Austin Matthews, called everybody together and said, boys, we need to get together to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if it was just 4 or 5 guys, the whole team, whatever, I would have got everybody together.
Yep. Well, and that's what it really is a shot at the leadership group. And who's your captain and where does he stand on all this kind of stuff? And he's got to lead the charge and kind of smooth it out and figure it all out. And, and they said they did that. They talked about it, and obviously Berube would have been involved. And, we'll see. We'll see where it goes starting tomorrow night with Jersey in town. Sheldon Keefe in town. And he's probably landing.
Where if they weren't.
Big time.
If there was no Jays talk going on right now, this would be like all of the media
We would have
checking
talked
in on
2
this
hours
stuff.
about it instead of,
The
40
biggest
minutes.
fans of the Blue Jays right now are the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes.
The Maple Leafs and their PR staff and everyone down there. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bucks with the points tonight. Taking the Bucks, going to parlay that. Blue Jays on a money line tonight. Jays, Game 7 Magic down at the Dome. And the Bucks cover against Detroit at Ford Field. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlays now available for every MLB game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 19+, physically located in Ontario. All right, we got 2 football games tonight. We got Game 7, Jays Mariners. Full breakdown tomorrow. Leafs Devils tomorrow night. It's going to be a great one. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
Lay off the corn, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.